All right, for page 3 on the assessment readiness test, we have this problem about political affiliation. We have liberals, moderates, and conservatives. Liberals are more like Democratic, conservatives would be more Republican. And we have that data split up in a two-way table by gender, males, females. So the category that's missing is the conservatives here. And they didn't tell us what those were, but they did give us the totals. So I'm going to add in the totals here, 77 males and 115 females. And then I can use subtraction to figure out how many conservatives there were. So if there were 77 males, and I subtract the 35 who were liberal and the 36 who were moderate, that leaves 6 left to be conservative. I can do the same thing for females, and I get 21. So right here, these are called joint frequencies inside that rectangle. The row should add up to 77, the second row should add up to 115, and I can get a grand total here of 192. I can also put in the other marginal frequencies. 85 is a marginal frequency. That's the total number of liberals. 80 and 27. So the category not included is the conservatives. So now what I'm going to do in B is use that table to make one showing the joint and marginal relative frequencies. I have just completed this table showing the joint. The joint frequencies are in green, and the marginal frequencies I just circled in red. So we're basically doing the same table, but now making it relative frequencies. So that means you're going to convert them to percents. To convert them to percents, we're going to take them all divided by the grand total. So I have males, females, liberal, moderate, conservative, total, total. So in green again, I'll do the joint relative frequencies. I'll show you how I get the first one. There are 35 males who are liberal. I divide that by the grand total 192. That will tell me in my calculator that it's 0.182, which rounded to the nearest tenth of 8% is 18.2%. Doing that for all the others, these are the percents you would end up with for the joint frequencies. Excuse me, joint relative frequencies. Now you could add these up to get the marginal ones as well, or you could just divide the totals here, like 77 divided by 192 should give you 40.1%. That's probably a more precise way. Otherwise, if you add these rounded percents, you might be a little bit off. And by the way, they should total 100%. It might be a little off. As you see here, it's actually totaling 99.9%. That's again because of some rounding error that I did in between. All right. So that's part B. Now part C and D get at interpreting that. C is really asking for a conditional probability. It says, among those who don't consider themselves liberal. So if I look back on my table, I'm looking at, up here, those who don't consider themselves liberal are this group right here that I circled in black. Because the 85 here consider themselves liberal. So I add those together. There's 80 moderates and 27 conservatives. So it's among those. 80 plus 27, or among those 107 people. What percent of them are conservatives? Well, the conservatives was the 27. So what is 27 divided 107? You get about 25.2%. When you have a conditional probability or a conditional relative frequency, what it does is it changes your denominator to a lower number. We have 107 here as a denominator. That was reduced from the grand total of 192 that we used in the table in Part B. So of the condition of just these 107 who are not liberals, what percent are conservative? And that's really what we should be doing to answer D, to see if there is an association between gender and political preferences. I'm just going to look at the condition of gender of males. So I'm just going to say, of the males, what's the percent who are liberal? What's the percent of males who are moderate? And what's the percent of males who are conservative? So to do that, I'm just looking at the males. There are 77 males total out of 35 who are liberal. So 35 out of the 77. That's the condition of being male. So I have 35 out of 77. And I can figure out what that percentage is. And I can do that for the moderates, 36 out of 77. And I can do that for the conservatives. So I'm just going to round here to the nearest tenth, 45.5%, 46.8%, and 7.8%. Now, if there is no association, that should match the overall, or if you did just the females, it should match the percentages for females. But I'm going to look at my answer in Part B, and I see my totals right here. Overall is 44.2, 41.7, and 14. So overall I have 44.2% liberals. Well, that's pretty much a match. So I'm thinking right now, not an association, because the males were pretty consistent with that. And then I've got 41.7% here. Well, that's a little low compared to the males. And here we really start to see a difference. This one is 14%. So since if these all matched, I'd say there's no association. But what's happening here is that the males are a lot lower overall in the conservative, and they're a lot higher in the moderate and liberal, a lot more higher in the moderate. So I would say, yes, there is an association. I have shown some reasons why, and the association is that males tend to be conservative less often than females. And I could give the percents there at 7.8% conservative for males. If I wanted to figure out the females, I just take the 21 out of 115. That's 18.3%, so that's quite a difference. 18.3% of females are conservative. So on the flip side to that, you could say females tend to be more conservative than males. Make sure in your answer here you have shown some conditional relative frequencies, which are these percents that we're comparing. And the same thing for C. Make sure you actually calculate the percent for that.